good and tight again. We have good fitment right now. It's like a little stud, kind of like me, which is very common sizes for most guys' toolboxes. Now you can feel, just even feel how much firmer it is when it's on. And I make sure that I'm straight here. I think I need a sharper drill bit next time. Wheel going back on. Works Connection Pro launch Holeshot device for you right now. We have tips, tricks, and full install for you in this video. The Works Connection Pro Launch Holeshot device is one of the first, and it's one of the most simple and easy to install systems out there. It only has 2 screws which hold it in. It's well made in the USA here. It's countersunk into the plastic, so it's really held in place. We've never had any fail over times, and they have great instructions, all that kind of stuff. We're going to give you some of those tips and tricks as we go through it, and also the full install will help you step by step and guide you through most all bike situations that you're going to come across while you're putting it on your bike. The Works Connection Pro Launch comes nicely packaged. You can see right here we have the ring that goes on the fork, the trigger assembly which comes in a variety of colors you can choose. It comes with the tools you need right here with the chamfer, and then you have all your hardware right here. And then on this side you have a template that you'll use when you go to drill out your fork guard, and you have some instructions and then additional instructions. There's a QR code in here. You can scan that right on your phone. It'll take you to a page that you're going to be able to see videos like this, also to instructions on your particular fork guard for your bike. So there'll be more additional instructions there if you find a need for that. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the video as well. Most of the people watching this video know what a start device does, but if you don't, what it does is allows you to compress the forks, lock it in so the front end stays collapsed a little bit. So then when you take off from your start line, whatever type of gate you have, it's going to keep that front end down and not pop as much of a wheelie. And then when you hit your first bump or you grab the brake a little bit in the first turn, it's going to disengage, and then the rest of the race, of course, it'll be disengaged as you ride. So it's only for that start. The first tip for you that Works Connection has found that people will have failures with is if they put the trigger system right on top of the graphics. Here we have some nice thick graphics from Decal Works. What they would like you to do is to put it right on, directly on the plastic. And so if you have graphics, what you're going to do is you're going to use your template, put it on here, and then match it up, and then you can cut out around the graphics right there. So that's the important step, so it mounts directly to the plastic. So the trigger mechanism, when you do go to put it on for your final install, you want to use some thread locker, like a medium strength thread locker on the threads, so that you ensure it's not coming off and causing any problems. Now that you have your screws thread lockered in and they're set, and you clearance this ring, now you want to make sure your trigger, I guess you should have already done that, make sure your trigger works good, but as you hold your trigger, you're going to grab the ring and clip it in so that you know that it clips in before you even put it on the bike. Here's the fork ring. You want to take good care of this. The ideal best way to put it on the bike is to pull the fork off, slide it on, and then put the fork back up, retorque everything, and put it back to spec. Also, when this fork ring's on, just in case it's at a spot where maybe there's some sticker on your fork guard, vinyl sticker, any type of suspension company sticker, anything like that, this can't be clamping to that. So there needs to make sure that it's just clamping directly to the fork. When you're all completed, your fork guard is all ready to go on the bike. You can put that on. Now it's time to put on your fork ring. When that fork ring goes on, I don't like to leave it loose, so I will snug it up just in case it gets forgotten. Now, one of the best ways we've found to set the location of this to get exact is to tie the bike down. You could put it in the back of your pickup truck. You could crank it down with a tie down. There's different ways you could get it compressed to where then you can position it and be perfectly lined up. When you're perfectly lined up, that's when you'll move this thing and then tighten this up. You want to be careful not to over tighten this bolt. So that way it's much easier when you're pulling down in the front end to get it to lock into place. On the instruction paper that comes with it, it's more of a template only. If you've done a bunch, that's all you need. To get the exact instructions for your bike, you're going to scan this code right here and it's going to bring you up to your bike. It has some good instructions here. You can pick which distance down you want to have it. So the further down it is, it's going to be harder to pull down. And as you can see, many of the pro bikes run it way lower. If you want to be lower than these settings, you're on your own as far as how to set that up. Make sure that you're lined up perfectly. When you cut these out right here, it'll help you line up perfectly and be nice and straight. Here's the QR code. It's pretty simple. Even an old guy can do it. You just hit the link right here, and it's going to take you to a page right here, and you can just hit the link, and it'll take you right to your bike. And if there's anything special for your bike, like the plastic being different, it'll be right there. Also, if they're aware of any aftermarket fork guards that require special modifications, because aftermarket fork guards can be different in many places, and so that can cause some issues. So if there's special instructions that they're aware of, that somebody's brought to Works Connection's attention, that those are going to be there. That's the place to go and check that. So there's different fork guards. So if you're not using OEM, these are all designed for the OEM. They can't go around and design them for every single one. So these patterns are gonna fit mainly to OEM. And then on many of the newer bikes, you can see how these fork guards wrap around like this, the KTM and the newer Honda. You actually have to trim some of the backside of the fork guard, which we kind of forget about at times because it wraps around too far and will actually hit the ring. So we have to just trim just a little bit. It's very small and pretty easy to do. Okay, here we have these fork guard straps, and these give additional strength. If guys are, especially if they're going lower than these lower settings, you can stress out the plastic too much and be too much force on it. These straps will provide additional strength to make sure that you don't damage the plastic. So if you're gonna be using it a lot, it's pretty simple installs on the straps as well, and we'll put those on and give you some more tips on those later in the video. Here we go. We're going to go with the standard 100mm pattern. So you simply cut out this pattern. Now they'll have some additional cut lines on some like this that allow the pattern to mold around a little bit easier. Okay, we have our pattern on here, which looks really nice, and you can see exactly where you need to drill. Now some guys would want to just drill it like this, but it's a lot safer and better to use the template, this aluminum template they give you. So I tape this on, and then it'll allow your drills to stay straighter and not woggle off when you drill out. We're all taped up here nicely. I like to kind of be heavy duty tape so it's in good, not going to move around on you. You need 2 drill bits, which is a 3/16 and a 5/16, which is very common sizes for most guys' toolboxes. It comes with this chamfer that you'll use in a couple different spots. I think I need a sharper drill bit next time. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Those are the 2 most important holes. Now, I like to put these screws in here, just like so. And this is gonna help brace this plate so when we're drilling these, and especially this one, it doesn't knock us off at all. Now this hole is more of just a drain. It's a very simple, and it allows the trigger to work fully and drain out water and stuff when the bike is being used. Just like so, and then once it's kind of pushed in, you can go to the other side. The advantage of leaving this plate on here is if you're a little bit off when you're drilling, you can get it right back in line, just like we did here. And as you can see, we're all the way through on both sides. We'll clear off some of this, deburr some of this waste out of here. So now I got a little deburring knife. You could do this with about anything you could find around. Just gonna get some of these burrs out of here so that when my trigger mechanism, I can hold it up here and make sure that it fits in nicely and that it clears just by holding it by hand before it's even screwed in. The next step is a chamfer right here for these little washers, which are going to sit down in here, and they need to sit flush. Now you can do it with the same chamfer that came with the kit, just like that. Now Works Connection recommends that you do it by hand, because they're really, the problem is people can go too deep and too easily with a drill bit. So you get a chamfer, you can use that same one and just do it by hand like this, so you don't risk going too deep. But me, I'm running it. I live on the edge. Now with them chamfered deep enough, I can put the washer on there and I can feel that it's flat all the way against the plastic on both holes. I've got my first screw in, and I just tighten it up till it's like fully tight, and then back it off so it's like at 80%, and I can still move it around and get my other one lined up in the bottom. I'm going to tighten up the bottom one. Okay, so now I can snug it up, and I make sure that I'm straight here. Now at this point, if you didn't have graphics on here and you're putting it straight to the plastic, you would be putting the thread locker on, which we'll show in a minute. At this point right now, I didn't put any thread locker in because I'm going to come through here and cut out along this line all the way around and cut out the graphics. Now I'm just going to remove it again, and I can clear off those graphics and put it back together. Okay, so now we've got all the graphics off. So now from this point on, if you don't have graphics, this is where you just go straight to. You wouldn't have to deal with anything else. So now we're straight on to the plastic. We have our thread locker on, and we're going to bring this on, I like to just hold it out like this so I make sure I'm started well. And again, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to go down to where it's snug and back it off like 20%. Now I'm going to tighten it up pretty good. Good and snug. I cut a little bit of this area off here so it'll be easier for us to not have any issues on the bike. This is an aftermarket fork guard. So now I like to pull this trigger, make sure everything clears, and then throw this in here so that we know we have good fitment right now, and we clear these screw heads right here, just like this. Everything's nice and clearing. All right, so what we've done here is we bolted up the straps with the stock, we put the stock bolts in here, and then we can position these where we want. I want to have this one kind of angled in here a little bit to give us more strength inside, and this one pretty much going straight up and down. Now you simply just put in this little, it's like a little stud, kind of like me. Now you don't want to over tighten this. You're going to get a good and snug, and because it's going to pull into the plastic right here, you don't want to risk pulling it through too much. Okay, here we go again. I'm going to do this. What I like to do is do this first. Get it good and snugged up, pulled in, and now I'm going to pull it. Now I have enough threads accessible that it's easy to just to back this off again. I'm going to put on the locking washer they give you. Now we can get it good and tight again, and we can tighten it down like so, and it pulls in. You can feel it pull into the plastic, and that's pretty much when you're done there. Okay, that's it. Look at that, nicely. And you want to make sure that your stock bolts will go right in here with these on so that they're not holding you up and again messing up those threads on those fork lugs. Okay, so the biggest hassle when taking the fork off, you got to go re-torque it all and set your height again. But it's pretty quick. Your wheel's already off anyway for most guys. Yeah. Okay, here we're cutting off sticker from our suspension company here. Great company. Sticker's a little long. It could have been put on higher and it wouldn't have interfered, or I could put on a new sticker up higher, but I'm just going to cut it off. Now you can feel, just even feel how much firmer it is when it's on the actual metal of the fork and not the sticker. Okay, I'm going to put this on. If you're not going to set this, I would leave this, I would make this tight and just kind of line it up as best you can. Obviously the front wheel needs to be on to get even a good guess. But I don't like to leave this loose just in case we forget to line it up and you go out riding and lose that bolt right real quick. Wheel going back on. Okay. So there's a couple ways you could do this. Works Connection likes to recommend that you just put it straight into the back of your truck or something where you can tie the bike down and collapse the front end to locate this ring. What we did is we rigged up a ratcheting tie down in here that I can just click away, and I've got it all the way down to here. And I can look in here and see if we're lined up or not. And right now I'm just a tiny bit off. When I look in there, I can see this thing needs to rotate just a tiny bit this way. Right on the money right there. So it's going to be hard to show that in the video, but we'll try to get in there and show you what we've done. Boom. All right, hopefully that helps you out if you're installing your own Works Connection Pro Launch Holeshot device. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. The website is very easy, worksconnection.com. Very simple. We'll see you guys next time on the track or trail, I usually say, but this time I'm going to say just the track if you're running this. See ya.